What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Startup Marketing Brunch. And today I'm going to talk a little bit. It's going to be a short one today. The question today is, what is the number one mistake that early stage startups make? And this is one that I run into with a lot of my clients, despite the fact that I'm, advocating for them to do more of this. It becomes very difficult to do. But I would say I've run into this of the last, I don't know, let's say 5 startups we worked with. I would say at least 4 out of 5 of them have made this mistake. And the mistake is that when you're an early stage startup, you should be following customer development as a process. And read all about it in 4 Steps to the Epiphany. Fantastic book. Every single one of my clients, I go, you probably don't need to hire me if you just read this book and adopt all of the strategies. Problem is, this book is complex, and interpreting those strategies and being able to execute them is why a lot of people hire me, because I've read the book a bunch of times and I kind of know what to do. But the number one mistake, it's very simple. It's a very, very simple thing, but it's very difficult to sometimes get right. The number one mistake that early stage startups make is that they do not interview enough people. They don't have enough conversations with people who they perceive to be in their target market. And like all research, that if you're doing research, one of the things that you need is you need to have enough people give you information that you can have a level of confidence that you're headed in the right direction. And so what'll happen is that people are, startups are working on their product, or they're, trying to get marketing strategies going. And the reality is they should be talking to more people, because they need to be doing research so that their products, the products that they create, are more aligned with the customer problems that customers are experiencing, so that customers have a hair on fire problem, you're solving it, you're in lockstep with them. They go, I would buy this tomorrow from you. And let me talk about some of the reasons why people don't interview as many people as they should. One of them is they're too focused on building the product. That's for sure a problem, because you do need to be building your MVP while you're also having these conversations. And you should have as many people involved in your founding team also asking these questions, also being in these interviews. But building a product is difficult. Building a product gets in the way of conducting customer interviews, customer development interviews, customer discovery interviews. And so what happens? Product folks fall out of it. They don't do it as much anymore. That's one of the major things, is my clients are so focused on building their products that they don't set time to do interviews. Now, one of the things I'll tell you is you can't just hire me to do the interviews. I will conduct the interviews for you, but you need to be in them. And you need to be in them for a couple of reasons. One, you need to hear direct from the customers what they're saying, because one of the things I've had problems with being on a founding team myself, or being a consultant, if I conduct the interview without you and then I go back and tell you what they said, I've had people tell to me, there's no way they said that. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. They said it to my face. Do you think I'm lying to you? And they'll be like, oh, you just misheard them or something. No. You need to be in the interviews, because you're not going to mishear this next time. So yeah, there's a lot of different things startups have to do. And sometimes people are so busy doing those other things that they actually don't get involved in the actual customer development interviews, which is a bummer. The other thing that prevents people from doing customer development interviews is that they run out of a network. I've seen this happen as well. So your network is only as big as the network you've put together. And so sometimes what will happen is that let's just say you have, back in the day, we used to call it a Rolodex, but now we call it a contact list. Let's say you have 100 people in your contact list, and let's say you interview all 100 of them. Well, then you can't do any more interviews, right? And how many interviews are we talking? We're not actually talking 100, although I think 100, do as many as you possibly can, is kind of the rule of thumb. But the number is usually, I like to start with 25 on a customer discovery interview process. And then once we kind of say, okay, these people are different from these people, therefore these people are more likely to be in our target market, these people are less likely to be in our target market, then we can say, let's interview 25 more people like those people. And so you're kind of constraining who you're doing interviews with as you go along through the process. But yeah, so that's the number one mistake I think that startups make, is early stage startups make, is that they do not interview enough customers. And by the way, it's something that you should be doing throughout the life of your company. One of the coolest stories that I heard was that the CEO of Burton, I want to say it's Tim Burton, but it's not Tim Burton because Tim Burton's the director. So I don't remember what the guy's name is. Tom Burton? I don't know. The guy who founded Burton Snowboards, even later into his career, 20 years into the business, he would still try to get, I think it was like 200 days on the slopes or something like that. Some really high number of days on the slopes. Why was he on the slopes? Because he was riding the lift with other snowboarders and he would ask them, what do you like about that board? What do you think about Burton snowboards? What are some problems that you're experiencing either as an expert snowboarder or a beginner snowboarder? Staying in contact with your customers at that level throughout the life cycle of your company is really good. But for early stage startups, you have to do it. You have to, because if you don't do that, you will build a product that no one wants, essentially. And that's the whole Steve Blank mentality. So the number one thing that early stage startups get wrong is they do not follow Steve Blank's advice. They do not get out of the office. They do not talk to customers. Or when they do talk to customers, it's not structured in a way that, I like to say, it's a customer discovery interview, because it is specifically formulated to get information out of potential customers and then really truly figure out, is this person in my target market or are they not in our target market? And you have to be very dedicated to crafting that message correctly. So there you go. That's the number one mistake that early stage startups make. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have another topic you'd like for me to address, please leave that in the comments as well. Thanks for joining me on another edition of Startup Marketing Brunch, even though it's really more like lunchtime now. Talk to everybody later. Bye.